Designers love adding guides to their page to define zones and manage the space. Production folks love adding guides because it maintains consistency, helps you lay out pages fast. Whatever the reason you want to add guides, InDesign lets you do it in a number of different ways. The basic way to add a guide to a page is simply by dragging it out of the ruler. I'll drag out of the ruler up here and let go of the mouse button when my cursor is over the page, and I can see that it's added a new guide on the page. That's a page guide. If instead I pull a ruler guide out of the ruler and let go of it while it's on the pasteboard, then I get a pasteboard guide, sometimes called a spread guide, because it goes all the way across the spread. Here I can see that these two text frames are completely not aligned, so I'm going to go ahead and resize this one to snap to that guide. Now there's other ways to add guides as well. I'm going to right-click on the intersection between these two rulers and change this to inches, because it's easier to show this particular trick in inches. And I'm going to start pulling out a guide, and I'm going to let go of it when it's near this tick mark over there. Now you'll see that it's very hard to get right on the tick mark. And when I say you'll see, what I'm talking about is this field up here in the control panel. You can actually see the measurement of the guide. If you select it, you can see that it's not exactly on 5 inches. What I want it to do is get it exactly on 5 inches, right on that tick mark. So to do that, I'm going to get rid of this guide, and to delete a guide, you simply select it and then hit delete. And instead, I'm going to pull out a guide, and when it gets close, I'm going to hold down the Shift key. The Shift key means snap it to the nearest tick mark in the ruler. So now I just have to get somewhat close, and when I let go of the mouse button, it's exactly at 5 inches. In fact, if I know that I want a ruler guide, let's say at exactly 4 inches, I don't even have to pull it out of the ruler at all. All I have to do is Shift double-click on that tick mark, and it adds a ruler guide exactly at that point. Now let's see a little bit about how guides act on our page and how objects behave with them. I'm going to zoom in on this little text frame over here, this caption with the Command spacebar or Control spacebar zoom tool trick. And now I'm going to drag this down. And you'll see as I drag this down, it snaps to the guide. That's what guides do. They snap objects to them. They're kind of magnetic. And that's usually very helpful. But in this case, if I want to get close to that point, but I don't want it exactly on that guide, well, I'm out of luck, right? Fortunately, you can turn off that snapping behavior. Go to the View menu, choose Grids and Guides, and then turn off Snap to Guides. You start dragging, and you'll see that the Snap to Guides feature is turned off. I can get really close to that, but it won't snap to it. By the way, I should mention that there are some other things that act like guides even though they're not, specifically the page edges. If I drag this caption over near the edge of a page, you'll see that it actually snaps to the edge of the page, so that's kind of handy. I'm going to zoom out to fit the spread and window with Command-Option-0 or Control-Alt-0, and I'll add a few more guides onto my page. I'll put a few page guides on here, I'll put a few pasteboard guides on here, and so on. Now, what if I want to move some of those guides? It's easy to move guides because they act just like objects. I can click on them to select them, Shift-click to select more, or even drag over a bunch of them and select all 3 of these at the same time. Now, when I click and drag, all of them move. There are other benefits of guides acting like objects too. For example, I can make a bunch of guides at the same time by selecting one and then going to the Edit menu and choosing Step and Repeat. I'm going to make 10 guides with exactly 1 centimeter vertical offset, and when I click OK, you can see I have 10 more, 11 total guides in a row. Now, I've got so many guides on my page now that I can't tell what goes to what. Fortunately, InDesign even lets you change the color of guides. So, for example, I can select 2 of these guides here, go to the Layout menu, and choose Ruler Guides. The Ruler Guides dialog box lets me choose any color I want. For example, I'll make these magenta and click OK. You won't see the change immediately, but when I deselect those guides by clicking out here in the pasteboard, you'll see that the guide colors have actually changed. That's helpful because you may want some guides to indicate some things and other guides to indicate others. Now, once you've done all this work to set up your guides, what if you want to use them on another page or even in another document? Again, they're just objects, so you can copy and paste them. I'm going to select all my guides with a super secret shortcut, which is Command-Option-G or Control-Alt-G. That's just a fast way to select all the guides on this spread. And then I'll copy them. I'll go to the previous spread. I'll go to the Pages panel, double-click on the previous spread, and then I'll paste them. Every guide is in exactly the same place as it was on the original spread. When I deselect them, I can see that even the colors are the same. Guides are incredibly helpful for ensuring consistency and keeping you efficient. They're so easy to create, there's no reason not to use them.